Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farmville. If I remove a load of trees from around the edge, we make this field a little bit bigger, we can do a couple passes around the edge, and then hired help can take over and do most of the rest of this work. For now though, I'm having to do it myself. I'm okay with that actually, because we haven't been here very long and we've done most of it already. For now, the trees that I remove around the edge of this one, I will just do the delete the tree thing. I'm kind of thinking that that's how we're going to do it. I was toying with the idea of maybe getting the wood chips from the trees that we remove, but I've been thinking about that a bit, and I'm not really sure that I want to do it like that. I think if we go removing the trees and then getting wood chips from them, we'd want it to take longer, and I don't really want forestry type things to be a focus of this series, and that's all that's going to happen. Is that as soon as you start doing forestry, it takes so long to do any of it that's all you end up doing. So I don't really want to do that. Trying to get just a few of these bits out here, it's a bit more difficult to do this, and here comes the rain. It's a bit more difficult to do this in-game than it is in real life. Real life, you can... well, I'm saying that it's more difficult, but I suppose it's not a lot different, really. You still got to go out and sort of do a little bit of shunting around on the outside edge. But basically, you just drive out like this, gather up all the bits that you can get, like that there, and then back into the middle again. And I can do the same out here. It's this bit right here. This is uneven ground that we don't like. And then there's another bit there that I can even out. I'll come back and get some more of that in a minute. But we've got most of it just with a couple of passes. You just, if you've got a square field, you just drive out to the corner and back in again. And you've pretty much got all of the grass that was missed when you were doing your turns around the field. And we have pretty much done that. I've done a lot of silaging in real life, and it's quite a common thing to go and do that with the mower. You just run out to the corner and back in again after you've cut the entire field, and you just go round and round and round. You don't do up and down very much. Well, fields like this, medium to small size fields, you round and round around the edge and just keep going until you get right to the middle, and then you go out to each of the corners and basically form an X shape. And then when the person comes in doing the silage, we don't row anything up if you're doing it on a smaller scale, so nothing is rowed up, and they will go around and do like an outside round first, and then after they've done that outside round, they go and do the X bits that go all the way through, remove them, take them out of the way, and then go back to doing the rest of the field, just following it round and round the way that you've gone and done the mowing. And it works really well. It's quite a simple, straightforward method of doing it. Now, how much have we got? There's one little tiny bit that I left behind at the other end, and then there's a few bits here that we need to tidy up. So there's a bit over this way. I know I'm leaving the mower down when I'm traveling across everything, and technically I should be picking it up, but it takes a really long time. And whenever I've done mowing in real life, I basically do it as I drive along. I barely even pause to raise and lower the mower. If you get it right, then you don't need to worry about it. If you get it wrong, your mower drops down like a little bit too late or a little bit too early. If it drops down too early when you're doing a field like this, it picks up the line of grass that's already been cut and sort of throws it around a bit. And if you're doing it for someone to go along and pick up as silage straight after you, they need those rows from the mower to be neat and tidy, because otherwise it's more difficult to pick it up with the forage harvester. And yeah, you kind of don't want to do that. You don't want to make life difficult for them, because otherwise it just makes all of the jobs more difficult later on as you go along. So we're going to turn those off and pick them up. There's everything done in here. We're going to do some work on this field. After we've done all of this, we will do a bit of work on this field and remove these trees from around the edge, I don't know how much of the... Let's have a look a minute. How much of the land do we own around the outside edge? You can see here it's got needs ploughing, but if I enlarge that field a bit, that could actually work out quite well for us. Let's go to farmland here. Right, well, we already own a bit around the outside edge of that field, so that's fine. So we can enlarge the field there as much as we want to, so we can remove a load of those trees, and that will work out quite nicely. Then we've also got these trees up through here. I would like to remove several of these and then build a track here, because this field up here, that grass field, that's going to stay as our grass field. That's permanently our grass field, and we will be cutting that one. We'll also spread manure from the cattle or slurry or whatever out on the grass field. I'm not going to worry about spreading too much of that on any of the other fields, because I kind of like the idea of just doing the standard fertilizer and stuff like that. It's quicker as well, isn't it? It's an awful lot faster if we do it that way. So let's bring you in here and drop that one off. So lower it down and drop it there, and then we'll turn around. This actually worked out all right. It didn't take as long to do that mowing job as I thought it might. So I'm quite pleased with this mower. I am thinking that we may change this over and get a set of butterfly mowers in the future. Whether we use this Kubota tractor for it or not, I'm not quite sure yet. We will wait and see. So the next job that we're going to want to do is the turning. This tractor is going to be the one that we use for doing the rake work there. But the turning, that little one over there, I think we're going to use... Let's use this one. Let's use our little tiny tractor for this job. And there, you've got to love that, where everything disappears in there. I really like that. I think that's actually quite cool. Let's drop that one down, and we will get the turner hitched on, so that one's ready to go. And I think while it's raining, rather than fast-forwarding a load of time, I'll leave that for a second. I'm going to get another tractor. I'm probably going to keep this little tractor, because I actually quite like this little one, and for reasons. The plough, I'm going to do what people have asked me, and we'll get rid of that plough, and we'll have a different sort. Although, we'll get a different sort of plough. I might not necessarily get rid of that one, because it is quite handy having a narrow moldboard plough like that for enlarging fields and just doing little bits like that. So I might keep that as well as get another one. So I want a new tractor and I want a new plough type thing. I've got a bit of work here that I'm going to do. So I'm just going to shut that one off there. And then I'm going to... The steering wheel slightly turned. We'll go in here. So this is what I'm talking about. Right? This bump that we've got right here. We've got these all over this map. And it spoils the map. It really does. Like, this map is absolutely... I love this map. I think this map is absolutely amazing. I really like it. I don't know why. I couldn't really explain it. It's one of those things. Different people have different requirements from maps. Some of you really love the flat, big, really, really big scale stuff. Something about this map that just appeals to me. It feels like a nice map. But I don't like all of the bits that are left. Like, it's like the map maker spent ages and ages getting this map just right, and then that last little tiny bit was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, and stopped, or just completely forgot to do it, or whatever. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of all of these bits while it's still raining. Right, we now have a few less trees, and we also have a track that goes up along here. So there's not much to the track. It's fairly simple. There's a little bit of mud in places. But this is a track that's not going to get used very often, is it? Like, once a year or twice a year, however often we do the hay, we come up here and we drive back and forth. Other than that, this track isn't used. So it's not going to be like one of those tracks that is really well... I mean, I was going to say it's not really well defined, but I mean, this one's fairly well defined. But it's got a lot of plant life growing around it and stuff like that. Kind of what you'd expect, to be honest. Now, let's fast forward time a little bit. Should have stopped raining around 1 o'clock. he says. Maybe it's 2 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock. There we go. Right, it has now stopped raining, so we will go back to 5 times speed. We will unfold this one. The thing I really, really love about this hay turner is this bit here that I'm about to show you. So you go into here. It is Control Y. So Control Y, and that turn. Did you see the wheels turn there? I actually want to turn them again because I want it to go this way. Always start with your turner in the middle of the field a little bit because it's chucking out hay behind it. If you're near the edge of the field, it may chuck everything right off the side of the field, which you don't necessarily want it to do. So we start this one up, we lower it down, and you can see it's forced everything into that one little patch. As soon as you start moving, then it's fine. It will put it behind. So those wheels moving, unfortunately, the mod doesn't actually have the turner dragging along behind you at an angle, which is what it should do, but it still does move the hay into the side. So you've seen the direction that the wheels are turning right there. The hay will spin in the opposite direction to which those wheels are currently pointing. They're pointing out this way if you're looking at the back. But you can see the hay is actually being chucked inwards, and this is good. This is what you want, because as you go around the fields, it does tend to, if you've just got a standard one, it does tend to sort of sling it out a little bit, and that's always a bit of jolly nuisance. You don't want it doing that. So all of this here, like these weeds and everything, we're going to do some work on this field, and we're going to change all of this, and then we'll be doing a bit of seeding out here. Just where we've marked out the new edges of what we're going to have as our field here, and then our grass field will be absolutely tickety-boo and just what I want. For now, though, we will just keep on doing it like this. Now, in theory, I should be able to do like a couple times around the outside edge of the field with this one, and then as soon as I've done that, the hired help should be able to take over and keep doing it. Once you've done the first time around, if you change the setting so that it does it evenly out the back instead of hurling it all to, well, at the moment it's chucking it to the right, then you get a more even spread on the hay turner. But you can see there where we started, it's cleared a big chunk of like bare ground there on the left-hand side of the hay, which is good. That's what you want. You want it throwing it away from the edge of the field. And you can see right there in particular, in order to change it, you've got to lift it up and turn the thing off, so then you can change the work mode. So we do it here, and it's now gone back to center. So then if I start and I go forward a bit, you can see instantly it's now stepped it over to the left. So it's now going to be in an even spread pattern. And we can carry on with that for the rest of the field. So I'll do once more around the outside edge, and then I'm hoping the hired help can carry on for me. I can't go and change the middle of the field just yet, but what I am planning... Let's actually go down across here. What I am planning to do is, once we get the hired help working, I will get... I'll start going around and removing some of the trees around the outside edge so that we can get things ready for how I want to enlarge this field. I think it would be quite cool if we can have this field kind of set up from an early stage. You can do 2 cuts of grass a year. I mean, you can actually do 3 cuts of grass a year if you want to, but I don't. I quite often, well, I almost always, if I'm doing animals in time-lapse, I will do 1 cut in May, which is traditionally, in my country at least, that's when you would be doing your first cut of grass, for silage at least. June is when you would do doing your first cut of hay, if you're going to do that instead. And then I do another one in August, because the grass has grown by that point. It doesn't grow before then. You can actually do your cut in April if you want to in the game, and then you could do it in July rather, and you could also do another one, so you could get 3 cuts in. But I don't ever actually want to do 3 cuts because it just takes too long. Right, let's set the hired help going that way. Hopefully he's going to be alright. I may have to go around and just tidy up afterwards, but he does actually seem like he's going to... But she this time. She does actually seem like she's going to be fine with doing the work. And there's enough room for her to turn around here as well. So we should drop that one down there. We're going to go and remove several of the trees up that way. Some of the ones out that way as well. I'm going to make the field quite a bit bigger. There's going to be a little bit of grass missing down... Ooh, no, we got all of that. Yeah, there will be a bit missing down over here. That's fine. We'll come and tidy that up afterwards. Right, you carry on and do that. I will jump on there. And I'm going to go round and start removing some of these trees. And yeah, I did say... I'm still umming and ahhing about, like, whether we should at some point be removing some of these trees with another mod and, like, turning them all into wood chips, doing something with them. But at the moment, I don't really want to do that. I just want to get rid of the trees and not have that as part of the gameplay. So I'm just going to work on this a minute. They're doing a really good job of this, actually. Hired help does seem to be capable from time to time. Not always, but at the moment it does actually seem to be doing a very, very good job. So we're going to leave them to carry on here. You can probably see in the background I have removed a lot of trees. Quite deliberate, quite deliberate. So we've got plenty of space that we can enlarge this field and smooth things out and so on. We'll do that after we've done all of the baling and everything else. So next job that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have this one to do the raking. So we can get this one out there and ready. Now, I was thinking that we would do the first time in that field with that little baler. And then after we've done that round with the small bales, I will change it over and do bigger bales. But I've been thinking about that because I kind of thought, yeah, it'd be quite cool to have a load of little tiny bales. Maybe we'll leave that for some of the straw, but I'm now thinking I'd actually prefer to do the... hay in the field over here with either the square or round baler that we're wanting to get. So we've got a couple of different options with those, and I am liking the idea of having round bales if we've got a baler that will do the job fast enough. The problem I've always found with round balers is that they're rather slow, like that one. Fast bale is only 17k, whereas if you go to a square baler here, well, that's 17k as well. 17. Those are 25. That's, I think, Heston baler, though. That one is 17. There is one, I'm sure, that is actually faster. The quadrant there is 18. That's a little tiny bit faster. And then we've got these... Yeah, those are just completely different types of balers. Right, the Krone Big Pack, that... has got to be an error, because in real life, the Krone Big Pack, one of the main selling points of this baler is that it can go faster than just about any other baler on the market, and it does actually do 25k in real life. So I don't really like the fact that they haven't got that doing 25k in here. But we've got this one here, so I'm going to go with this quick bale, I think, rather than spending extra on this over here. That one does 27. This one is 25k. That one's 40k. Now, if you think that I should use the quick bale to do things a bit later on, then I can do. For now, we will go with this one. It's a little bit faster than some of the others. We can have random foil colors if we want to, and they will change the colors of the foils every time if I wanted to. But I'm not actually doing foil colors. So main... Oh, wow. Gold check, old Krone yellow, gold satin, gold metal flake, gold gloss, gold chrome. Krone yellow. Let's have a look at these. So, gold... Oh, I see. It's the texture, the grip metal that you quite often get on the floor plates of various things, and also on the floor of animal transport boxes. It gets a good grip even when it's wet, so if it's covered in slurry, you still get a good grip on it. It's good stuff, actually. chrome yellow there, and then we've got gold satin. That does actually look like satin, doesn't it? Look at that. It's a flat color, and it still looks smooth. That's pretty awesome. That's a really cool effect. Gold flake. Gold gloss. Ooh, I like that. I actually do. And gold chrome right there. Very shiny right there. And then we've got various different colors. Okay, that is dark like midnight, that is. And then we've got black chrome over here. Jet black. Oh, I quite like that. I know, I'm going through and showing you a whole load of colors, and most of you already know what colors look like. But look at the shinies. That yellow, that's actually, I like the bright yellow there, but what I'm actually thinking is, for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go with a metallic orange like this. That's darker. Orange metal flake. Actually looks more metallic than the other one. I've gone with orange metallic, and we've put the Kubota colors on here as well, because you've got the designs. A rear hitch. We see you can put a rear hitch on as well. A rear hitch on the left. A rear hitch on the right. That's so that you can auto-magically pick up the bales as you drive around the field. That's actually pretty cool. Both sides with trailers. No, we don't want any of that. And we won't have a silage additive tank either. Let's just go with this. I'll buy this one. If you want me to make any significant changes, or if you'd like me to go with the quick bale here instead, then we can do that later on. But for now, we will stick with that one. And we will... we'll do this year's hay with it, and then we'll see. Maybe we may even change it later on in the year if we do another cut in August. Whether or not you want me to use the quick bale, or if you'd like me to change the colours on it, if you don't particularly like the Kubota colours that I've gone for there, do get into the comment section and let me know, and I will pick something else out. I'm not going to cater my colouring choices to viewer discretion every time, but for the baler, I think I will. Right, this one here, we can fold this bad boy up, and we will run this. I'm going to run this back a minute, and then we can carry on with that tractor and doing the rowing up. Now we need to unfold this one, which is quite a mission in itself. Actually, I don't think we need to do very much for unfolding this. Sometimes when you've got them to unfold, the wheels have got to be spread apart, and if you're doing that in real life, you've got to drive around fairly quick in order to be able to do it without ripping the wheels off of their rims and stuff like that. It's not necessarily very good, but this one's really good. It just, you frame in the middle and off you trot. Now, it's not particularly fast, but considering the width of it, it's not going to take very long at all. This is a big old rake, this one is. I actually like this rake. This is pretty cool. Let's see if we can get an action shot as we come down through here. There we go, look at that. Action shot. And I missed a load of grass there. I missed that one little bit there. Let's come on here. Hopefully we can... This one that I notice, you see the wheels aren't turning. It doesn't have the automatic turning of the wheels, which is a little bit more inconvenient. And yes, by removing all of the trees around the edge of the field as early as I have done so, it means that it's a lot easier to get round with this one. Like, there was a tree right in the way there. That would have been a bit of a difficult maneuver to make, getting around here. But I regret nothing. I absolutely regret nothing. I have noticed that when we were going over the uneven ground there, the wheels on the actual machine here were lifted right up into the air, and we were only on the wheels on the rotors. But that is why you have the wheels on the rotors. Well, I'm saying that's why. I mean, they do support the weight of the rotors as you're driving around. They're resting on the ground, but I don't know how much of the weight. And I would assume that you've got all of these rams and everything to unfold it and place it down on the ground. My assumption is that all the rams are in float. So what float is, you've got two different settings on the tractor. One is where it's pushing the ram, so it's basically continually pushing hydraulic oil out and putting pressure on it, or holding it at a set position. For rams like this, it's not holding it at a set position, it would just be continually pumping oil. Or you move it into the next position, which is not continuously pumping oil. It's called float. And what it does is it allows oil to be pushed back into the tractor and allows it to be drawn from the tractor into the machine. And essentially what it does is when your machine, like this one here, for example, is going over uneven ground and it lifts up and lowers down following the contours, the rams are pushing the oil that's in the rams, like they're contracting, so they're pushing the oil back into the tractor, and it just allows the stuff to flow back into the tractor, and then as the ram extends again, it pulls the oil out. And that's just what the float position does. So it's basically just switches off the oil pump on it and just allows everything to flow freely. Alright, we're now coming up to a corner here where it's quite a sharp corner, and in real life you could pretty much do this the same way that we did with the mowers. Right, I've lifted that up. Oh, it's taking a really, really long time to lift it up, that's why. So you could do it the same way that you do with the mowers and just go around the corner, and then at the end of it you go back through. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.